At the top of your lesson plan is something that we just call your lesson plan description. It's really a way to record your name and your date and the description of your lesson plan, because you're going to create a number of these throughout the course, and we need a quick and easy way to be able to see who made this lesson plan, what's this lesson plan about, when did you teach it, and you really need that information as well. It's a simple step, you don't want to miss it. As you'll see, you often need to remind your students to always put their name and their date on their piece of paper. That's really what this is about. It's your name and your date and some more information. All right, this section of your lesson plan template might look a little different than the example that I'm using in this tutorial, and that just depends on what certificate course you're taking or which version of the lesson plan template you're using. So for example, some of our paper versions have 6 numbers here in this section of the template, and those are for marking off which of the 6 lessons that you're turning in for your teaching portfolio. You might see that on the paper version, but not on this particular version that I'm using. Or you might see slightly different wording on another version of the lesson plan template than what you'll see in this tutorial. So you'll need to customize the way you fill in this section depending on which version you're using. And your trainers, your staff, they will be able to communicate to you exactly how you need to fill this in if there's a very special way to do it. But I'm just going to show you a few basics here. Now some of these are pretty easy. You need to enter your name. You need to enter the date. And keep in mind that much of the world will do the day of the month first, then the number for the month, and then the number for the year. Whereas in Montana, we actually flip these 2 numbers. So depending on where you're taking this course, they may have you write this date a particular way. Just to play it safe, I'm going to write out the month. And then finally we have the venue. And this is usually where in the world you're taking this course. So if you're taking the course in Montana, you can write Montana. If you're taking it in Cambodia, you can write the name of whatever city you're at in Cambodia. If you're taking our Citizens TESOL course online, then you can write Citizens TESOL. But this venue is usually whatever city your TESOL course is based out of. And your trainers, your staff, they will be able to help you know exactly what you should write in this box. Now let's come over here to our lesson topic or our lesson name. This is where we write down some identifying information so that we can quickly see what this lesson is about. So for our animals lesson, I'm just going to write animals. That was just the general topic for that vocabulary lesson that we created. You have extra space here, so if you wanted to add more information, you could do that as well. So if I wanted to identify what the situation was, what's the real life situation that we're creating for our students in this lesson, then I could put that too. Often there's not something very specific you need to put in this box. So you can add whatever information helps you identify what lesson this is and what topic you're teaching. But I also find that something that can be very useful for those of you who are using a curriculum to teach from is to put what the unit is from your course book and some other corresponding information. So for example, if I'm teaching Unit 1 from this course book, then I might write Unit 1. How was your vacation? And if I wanted to be super specific, which is always a good thing, then I could even put my page number. So use this space to identify your lesson. If there's something very specific you need to put here, then your staff will let you know that. Otherwise, add some details here that will just identify your lesson. Finally, we have the proficiency level. So what level is this lesson for? What level is your classroom of students? Were they beginners, elementary, intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced? You can add one or more levels. So for our animals lesson, it went all the way down to beginner or elementary. If I'm teaching it to a classroom full of elementary students, then I will write elementary. If I have a classroom of mixed levels, then I will write down the range of those levels from between elementary to advanced. Or I might write mixed levels. Or if I'm teaching a group of elementary students, and at my school, we call those level 2, let's say, or English 2, or I might even put what room we are in. So as you can see, there's room for a little nuance in these boxes. The main point is to identify what lesson you're teaching and what classroom students you're planning for. And if it needs to be more specific than this, then your staff should let you know. All right, that is the lesson description. Go ahead and try filling that out. And then when you think you got it, move on to your learning outcomes.